Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be showing you how to make a beautiful foggy night painting. And for this paper I am using mixed media paper black, and first I am applying white oil pastels, and after that I will blend it with a small piece of tissue paper. Make sure to roll up the tissue paper and then start blending. I am applying some more white pastels and keep blending. We have to get the foggy look of the night, so I'm making a dull foggy painting. And again a little bit of white towards the bottom. And towards the edges I'm using dark blue and again blending. Because we need to create a gradient kind of effect, so the center portion where the light hits will be white and the edges will be slightly darker in blue color. So I am applying a more white pastels to give it a bright look in the center. Now I'm using blue, the same dark blue that I used for the other shade, and making the shape of a road coming from a distant view. So the road is narrowing down towards the end. And applying white pastels again. Oil pastels drawings is really calming to work with because it doesn't create any mess and it's very easy to work with. So I love oil pastels, and I also have some acrylic painting videos. If you like to check them out in my channel, I have it in a separate playlist. And also I have few oil pastel drawings, lots of them on my playlist also, and one of them is in fact the tips and tricks of using oil pastels. And in that based on my experience, I have listed some tips for you. For this road I'm mixing a little black oil pastels also along with the white to create the gray look. And keep blending the road. I use tissue paper to blend, but you can either use fingers or even Q-tips. And using a black colored pencil to give a shape to the edge of the road. Using colored pencil will be easier for sharp lines because oil pastels is a blunt and it has blunt edges, so I use color pencil for fine lines like this. Now is the time to draw some trees. So that I will be using some light colors as well as some dark colors. I think let's start with the grass first. So for the grass I used dark green first. For the foliage, and also some brown or raw umber, that also I used, and a little bit of light green. Basically for foliage you can use any type of mixed greens, because in nature if you see each leaf is in a different color, and you can in fact use mixed varieties of green shades for this foliage. Basically whatever is available in the package, all sorts of greens, I just mix and match. So here I am applying light green for the highlights. Where the light hits the grass, I use light color. It's fun to work with black paper for making night drawings like this, because it's easier to get the dark shade and look when using black paper. So when I'm making night city drawings or a foggy night or anything like that, I use black paper, which is easier, I think. So here also in the right side I use a light color green. You can apply with a little pressure, so that will create some textures in the grass area. And dark green in between, I put little darker green for the shadows. I hope you are enjoying this painting so far. Please feel free to subscribe to my channel, because I have almost 1,000 videos so far as of today, and I keep adding more because I post videos almost every single day. And I'm also thinking of making live demos on YouTube, which I'm working on it. So like I said earlier, I'm using a mixed varieties of different shades of green for the grass. And for the distant grass I just blended lightly, because we need to create a faded look towards the end of the road. And I use some yellow ochre also, and some raw umber and some burnt umber, mix of everything. Here I'm using burnt umber. I used Mungyo brand oil pastel, but I also work with the crepas or any other kind that I see in the store. It depends on what I have available in my art supply. So now we are making the trees. So the first tree I am making with the color pencil as the base coat. So it's easier once you use color pencil, you get a sharp line for the branches and other things. So you get a delicate effect when using the color pencil. And I applied little raw umber, also dark brown, also called dark brown, on the tree. And I am applying some blues also, and some whites. Again some touch up with the color pencil black. And drawing another tree in the same way. I used light grey color pencil for this one, because when you see distant trees it will be lighter grey color when you see from a distance. So I used grey, and also I used some grey oil pastel. If you want to get sharp lines with oil pastel, I use the other end of the oil pastel, which is generally sharp, because I use only one blunt edge for coloring and one edge I keep it sharp for making sharper lines like this. So again, using the same light gray oil pastel to draw the distant trees. You can draw any interesting shapes for the trees, because in nature, if you see, every tree is in a different shape, so there's no such rules that you have to follow a particular shape or anything. Just randomly apply some branches here and there and just have fun while doing it. The main idea is to enjoy the drawing, not just copy the same thing from other photos or anything. You can use the photo as a baseline reference, but I usually add my own twist to any drawing. And here we are adding some distant leaves with light gray color. I applied with a little pressure, so I get some textures on the leaves. And every time when I make a drawing, I learn something new, because sometimes we tend to make a mistake and then we correct it in our next drawing. So that's how I learned all the mistakes, and I'm fixing. And if you want to check out my tips and tricks on oil pastel based on my experience, I have listed few tips, and you can check out the link. And I'm adding the little white pastels also, again in the lighter area, so it will be little bright. I used 6 inches by 8 inches size paper, black mixed media paper for this. And mixed media paper is a smooth finish, so I like working with it. It's easier to blend in a smooth paper. So for the nearest trees, I am using the same dark gray color, but making it a little darker, because the closer trees look clear and little darker compared to the distant trees. So it gives a 3-dimensional effect when you do that. Normally I use 2-3 different shades, so distant will be lightest and the middle one will be slightly dark, and the nearest trees will be the darkest and the most thickest. So you can get the 3-dimensional effect in this. And in this also you can add different branches in any shapes and forms that you like. Again adding another tree the same way. The more trees the better, because this is a wooded area, so obviously there will be lots of trees. I also like making paintings of rainy scene in similar wooded area, because I like paintings with people walking around with umbrellas and other things. It's very interesting. So I'm slightly blending with fingers. And again adding slight touches of grays and lighter shades on the trees. Using Q-tips to blend fine areas. So far it's looking good. I think I like it. So now is the time to add the lamp post. I use the ruler and the dark gray color pencil to add the lamp post. And this is where the bulb is going to be. We're going to be coloring it with yellow for the light. Adding a white color pencil for the highlights. And now is the time to draw the small bench in the park, a distant bench, which will make it a little interesting. And another lamp post in the distance. Yeah, now I'm drawing the jeep which is coming from a distance. So I use colored pencil to make fine lines of the jeep. Using colored pencil. It should be very tiny because the jeep is coming from a very far distance. See, now is the fun part. I used a little acrylic paint, burnt umber color for the lights. Acrylic paint I use because it's we can create fine lines with that. That's why. So I use toothpick to apply bright yellow color for the lights of the jeep. And with oil pastels, it's a little difficult to draw very fine lines like this, the tiny light. So that's why I used the toothpick and used the acrylic paint. So this is the reflection of the lights that you are seeing on the road. So adding tiny zigzag reflections. Oh, looks beautiful already. I like the way it's coming. And now I'm applying paint to the bulb of the lamp post. Sorry, the camera wasn't focused. Oh, now I'm focusing it again on the light. I use the same toothpick and acrylic paint, bright yellow, for the light. And for the rays around it, I used the oil pastel. to make the light rays, and I gently spread it with the earbud or Q-tip, using Q-tip to spread the light around the bulb area. I hope you are enjoying this painting. Please feel free to subscribe to my channel, and I post videos almost every single day. And you can join me in some live demos if I post. So it's nice to subscribe, and thank you for watching. So I'm just giving a final touch up to my light bulb. Yeah, I think it's looking good. I like it, and I hope you are liking it too, this painting. And now giving some final touch-ups. Using white colored pencil. First I'm touching up the edges of the road with black. And then using white color pencil to draw the middle line of the road. First I'll draw with pencil, then I will touch up with white oil pastels. Actually, in fact, I like driving through this foggy road, and it's very calming, so that's why I made this painting. I like going for a long drive like this into the woods and forest area, and giving a slight touch of yellow to the line, and finally using thin oil pastel to draw the middle line of the road, and also adding some highlights to the road. Adding some reflection in the glass. And for the grass, I'm giving some touches with again the bright green color, adding some textures. If you apply with a little pressure, you get the textures. And adding different shades of greens. I don't even know the names of these greens. I just use randomly any green that I like. Usually in any package there will be at least 3 to 4 different types of greens that they have in the package, so you can use any of those that you like. And I have the little knife that I use for making scratches in the grass area. You could use palette knife also, but I didn't have palette knife, so I used just a regular kitchen knife for this painting. The tiny fruit knife that I use in the kitchen, that's what I'm using it here. And some black pastel to define the edges of the road, because some areas of the road will be dark and some will be light, so we just have to mix and match black and white while drawing the road. Instead of this road, you could also do the dirt kind of road with with brown color. But for this painting, I drew the black tar road. In some of my other paintings, I use the brown color road for the mud road. So again, giving some final touch-ups to the trees, making it a little darker and giving it a definition. And adding one more branch because I like the branch which is near to our painting. The farthest trees, as you can see, I use lighter colors, but the trees in the foreground I am using darker shades. So I'm adding little darker leaves in the front to give a 3D effect to the painting. Usually I run out of black and white pastels very soon, so I order another package separately for black and white pastels only. So that's why this pastel is very thin, because I bought it in a separate package. And I run out of all my favorite colors very soon. So normally I buy separately. I hope you also like driving in this kind of wooded area. Especially with the family, it's real fun to go for a long drive like this. Ideal picnic spot also. So thank you again for watching. I'll let you watch till the end of my video to finish up this painting. It's actually never ending. We can keep on giving final touches and it's never going to end, but I'm almost finishing up. So while peeling the masking tape, it's very important that you peel little by little. You lift a small portion and then you peel it. If you peel it as it is, the whole paper will be damaged. So you have to be very, very careful. And for any oil pastel drawings, masking tape is a must because it gives a clean look to the edges. So I always use masking tape. So like I said, lift it little by little and then you peel off. So thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoyed this painting. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye-bye.